Hi Taurus, how's it going? I hope you're doing wonderful today. This is going to be a general reading from today, January 24th, to the end of February. So it's a general reading, just take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does resonate, if you could please share, subscribe, leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. So Taurus, and for cross watchers also, I'll just give you a little information on Taurus just in case you don't know. Birthday is from April 20th to May 20th. That's usually the range. Taurus vibes are very slow down, do it right, and make it cozy type of energy. Their strengths are reliable and loyal. They're rock solid once they commit. They're patient. They're not easily rushed or rattled. They're practical, grounded, realistic. They're good with money and resources. They're hardworking, sensual. They love good food, comfort, music, touch, nature. They're protective of their people, routines, and peace. As far as their challenges go, they can be stubborn. Changing their mind can be a process. They can be resistant to change. They prefer familiar over new. Sometimes they can be a little possessive. They can get clingy with people or things that they value. They're comfort loving. They may procrastinate if it disrupts their groove. They're slow to forgive. They have a long memory when trust is broken. With regards to relationships, Tauruses are devoted, affectionate, and consistent. They show love through actions, not empty words. They need security, honesty, and physical, emotional comfort. Once they're in, they're really in. Their overall energy is calm, earthy, dependable, and indulgent. Taurus is a sign that builds a life you can actually relax in. So that's just a review on Taurus's character traits. And now I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread. I've already cleared the energy. These are the cards that came out. I'll go through them individually and then we'll tie the reading all together. Some of the cards came out reversed. That just means you're getting extra protection. So, okay. The first card that came out is the Page of Wands reversed. This card represents your current situation. And again, so this is for the end, January 24th to the end of February. So for your current situation, Taurus, at the core, this can point to blocked momentum around inspiration or confidence or forward movement. For you right now, this can look like low motivation or scattered energy. You want to start something, or you want to say something, or you want to take a risk, but the spark isn't catching yet. Or it could represent self-doubt around a new idea or path. Maybe you're asking yourself, is this worth it? Or are you ready? Or what if you fail? This could also represent delayed communication or hesitation, like messages not being sent or plans being stalled or your enthusiasm being dampened. And it could also indicate inner frustration. This fire energy wants to move, but your earthy nature may be feeling heavy or cautious or resistant. So how this fits you specifically? You don't jump blindly. You need security and purpose. You may feel out of alignment with your passion, or you're sitting on an idea because it doesn't feel stable enough yet. There's fear. There's a fear of wasting energy or stepping outside of your comfort zone. The shadow side of this could be avoidance, masked as being practical. Avoiding something, avoidance being masked as being practical, or maybe it could indicate procrastination due to fear of change, or you're ignoring your inner excitement because it feels risky or unfamiliar. The message of this card is not a punishment, it's more of a nudge. This isn't a hard no, it's more like Spirit is saying reconnect with what excites you, but don't rush. Clear the doubt first. It's asking you to tend to the spark before trying to light the fire. And then what's crossing you, or what's challenging you or your situation, or it could be what you're celebrating, is the Seven of Cups. Okay, this card brings confusion, overload, illusion, and too many possibilities. So as a challenge, it could suggest too many options. Having too many options can make you feel paralysis, like you want clarity and certainty, but you're surrounded by choices that all look tempting, or they all feel risky. Or this card could indicate unclear priorities. You may not know what's realistic versus what's just a fantasy. Or it could represent emotional or mental fog. Maybe you're second guessing yourself or overthinking, or you're being swayed by others' opinions. Or there's a fear of choosing wrong, which directly feeds the Page of Wands reversed hesitation. As a highlight, what's being shown, it can also mean that you're realizing that not every option deserves your energy, or you're becoming aware of distractions or illusions that have been draining your spark. So how this interacts with the Page of Wands reversed. Together, these cards say that the spark is blocked because the vision is unclear. The Page of Wands reversed equals a lack of confidence or direction, and the Seven of Cups equals too many visions and not enough grounding. You're being pulled between stability versus curiosity, or reality versus fantasy, or what feels safe versus what looks exciting. This is especially challenging for you because you thrive on simple, tangible goals. The Seven of Cups muddies the waters, making it hard to commit to a single path. The cards are basically telling you to choose one cup, ground the dream, strip away illusions, or stop waiting for the perfect option. And if this is a celebration, it could indicate that you're finally seeing through illusions, or you're acknowledging confusion instead of pushing forward blindly, or you're giving yourself permission to pause and reassess. This combo sets up the rest of the Celtic cross beautifully. It's the why behind the stagnation. And then your foundation card, the basis of your situation or foundation, is the Strength card, Leo energy. This is where the reading really clicks. Strength as the foundation changes the tone in a big way. The basis of your situation or foundation, Spirit is saying at the root of everything, you're experiencing at the root of everything, you are experiencing quiet power, emotional resilience, and self-mastery. This card is saying that you're stronger than you feel right now. You've already endured or overcome something that required patience and inner control. Or it's saying that your power is subtle, not loud. This isn't about force. It's about gentle persistence, emotional maturity, taming fear or doubt or impulse through compassion and self-trust. How the Strength card explains the other two cards? Now the story starts to make sense. The Page of Wands reversed, hesitant, the Page of Wands reversed can represent a hesitant spark or self-doubt or stalled action. The Seven of Cups can represent confusion, too many choices, illusion. And then the Strength at the foundation is saying you're holding back on purpose, even if it's subconsciously. You're not weak. You're restraining yourself until things feel right. This isn't burnout. It's self-control. You naturally embody strength energy. This card is about endurance over speed, or calm over chaos, or inner confidence over external validation. So even though the surface shows uncertainty, underneath you trust your instincts, or you know rushing would cause regret, or you're choosing patience over impulsivity. If you look at the shadow side of it, maybe you're experiencing over-controlling emotions, or you're suppressing a desire instead of expressing it. The gift here is the ability to calmly choose the right path once clarity arrives. So this foundation message suggests that the reading will likely move toward clarity through self-trust, or a choice that requires courage, not force. Or you will progress once you commit emotionally, not just logically. This card is whispering, you already have what it takes. Don't doubt your power just because you're being careful. And then your fourth card represents your past, but is relevant. I'm just going to change my chair, get a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so your fourth card represents your past, but is relevant to your current situation. And you got the Chariot reversed. So this points to a period of loss of direction, or stalled progress, or feeling out of control not too long ago. This could look like trying to move forward but feeling blocked or pulled in opposite directions. Or it could indicate external circumstances derailing your plans. Or it could be motivation without traction. You're pushing but not getting far. Or it could indicate a sense of you're trying, so why isn't this working? But Spirit is saying this isn't failure, it's misaligned momentum. So how the past bleeds into the present with the Chariot reversed. The Chariot reversed indicates forward motion that feels forced or chaotic, or that felt forced. Forward motion that felt forced or chaotic. The Page of Wands reversed indicates that your confidence was shaken. Your enthusiasm was dimmed. The Seven of Cups indicates uncertainty about which direction is worth pursuing. And the Strength card, the Foundation card, indicates learning restraint and inner control as a response. So, Taurus, you likely pushed too hard in the past or tried to control outcomes that weren't ready. And now you're compensating by slowing way down. This explains the current hesitation beautifully. You don't thrive under pressure. When things move too fast or feel chaotic, you shut down, or you pull inward, or you reassess everything. This card, the Chariot reversed, suggests that you learned forcing direction without clarity leads to burnout. So now you're choosing containment over chaos, even if it feels like stagnation. On the shadow side, there may be a fear of repeating past frustration, or maybe you're overcorrecting by avoiding decisive action, or you're equating movement with stress or loss of control. So what this card is preparing you for is this past experience is what made strength necessary. This card indicates calm over aggression, or inner alignment before outer action, or choosing when to move, not just how. This is the classic regain the reins internally before moving externally phase. And then your immediate future card, what's likely to happen very soon in your life. Coming up soon, you got the 9 of Swords. Okay? This is a heavy card to get, but it's also very revealing. This card signals a period of mental stress, anxiety, guilt, or sleepless nights coming up soon. Importantly, it's mental and emotional, not necessarily something catastrophic happening externally. So this can show up as overthinking a decision you've been avoiding, or anxiety surfacing once you can't postpone it anymore, or worries intensifying in the quiet moments, especially at night, or replaying past mistakes or what ifs. It feels like you can't ignore this anymore. So how this fits your story so far? This card makes total sense given what we've seen. The Chariot reversed, representing the past. Things went off the rails. The Page of Wands reversed, representing the present. Hesitation, stalled confidence. The 7 of Cups, what's crossing you, too many choices, confusion. And the Strength card, your foundation, you're holding it together outwardly. And the Nine of Swords suggests you have been containing stress for a while, and soon the pressure leaks out. Taurus, you tend to internalize stress or stay strong for a long time, or avoid confrontation or emotional chaos. So when anxiety hits, it can feel overwhelming because it's suppressed, not processed. But here's the key. This card is about perception, not inevitability. Most of the fear is happening in your mind, not in reality. So the shadow and silver lining here, the shadow is catastrophizing or self-blame or spiraling thoughts. And the silver lining is this anxiety forces clarity, or it pushes you to finally confront what's being avoided. It's often the card right before relief or truth. Taurus, you are strong enough to face the thought you've been running from. This card doesn't mean things get worse. It means they can't stay buried. Okay? And then the outcome that you desire most in your situation is the Tower reversed. This card says you don't want chaos. You want to avoid a breakdown, not trigger one. You're craving damage control or a quiet resolution instead of a dramatic collapse. You want to survive change with as little fallout as possible. You want to keep your life intact, even if it needs restructuring. So this is very much, you know, something has to change. You just don't want it to destroy everything. The Nine of Swords shows anxiety about what happens if the truth comes out, or what happens if you choose wrong, or what happens if you finally let things shift. The Tower reversed says you hope to release pressure slowly instead of exploding, or you hope to handle the change internally, or you hope to soften the blow through preparation and restraint. You want control over the collapse. This is peak Taurus. Change is inevitable, but you may be thinking, please make it manageable. Or Spirit is saying stability, or you're thinking stability matters more than ego. Or maybe you're thinking you'll endure discomfort if it prevents disaster. Maybe you're saying something like, let me dismantle this brick by brick. Don't rip the whole house down. But on the shadow side, there is a caution here. Maybe you're avoiding necessary upheaval, or you're delaying the inevitable, or you're trying to hold on to structures that are already cracked. The Tower reverse can sometimes mean a fear of truth, or a fear of consequences, or a fear of losing control. And when paired with the Strength card, this is actually powerful. Spirit is saying you can navigate change consciously, or you're capable of choosing reform over ruin, or your inner courage will allow you to face disruption without panic. What Spirit is saying is a breakdown isn't required, but honesty is. So the big message so far, you are confused with the Seven of Cups. You're hesitant with the Page of Wands reversed. You're carrying anxiety with the Nine of Swords. But you're deeply motivated by self-preservation and peace, not avoidance. You want transformation without trauma. And then your self-image card, how you see yourself, is the Hermit reversed. So right now you see yourself as stuck in your own head or disconnected from your inner guidance, or you're isolating in a way that's no longer helpful. This may feel lost instead of reflective, or like you've withdrawn too long and don't know how to re-emerge, or you're disconnected from your usual inner wisdom, or you're unsure whether solitude is helping or hurting anymore. This is very much you've been alone with your thoughts, and now your thoughts are loud. Spirit is saying, look at the emotional chain now. So with the Chariot reversed as your past, a direction fell apart. Your spark was dimmed with the Page of Wands reversed. You're confused about options with the Seven of Cups crossing you. And then anxiety peaks with the Nine of Swords, your near future. And then you avoid some kind of collapse with the Tower reversed, the desired outcome. And then your self-image card, the Hermit reversed, is saying you don't trust your inner compass right now. This explains the anxiety so clearly. You don't feel guided. You feel cut off from your own certainty. You normally you trust yourself. But when you don't, you tend to retreat or overthink, or you wait instead of act. This card, the Hermit reversed, is suggesting that you believe if you go inward again, you'll just spiral, or you've been alone long enough, or you need clarity but you don't know where to find it. The shadow side is saying this isolation is turning into avoidance, or you're ignoring your inner truth because it feels uncomfortable, or you're seeking answers externally while distrusting your intuition. The higher message is very important here. This card isn't saying you lack wisdom. It says you're not accessing it the right way right now. Sometimes the Hermit reversed means guidance comes through conversation, not solitude. Or it could mean sometimes the Hermit reversed means through honesty instead of introspection. Yeah, through grounding, routine. Yeah, guidance comes through conversation, not solitude. Guidance comes through grounding, routine, body, nature, through honesty instead of introspection loops. With the strength at the foundation, you have the inner fortitude. With the Tower reversed as desire, you're trying to stay safe. But this card shows the moment where you admit you can't do this alone anymore, or at least not like this. Your environment card, or how others see you in your situation, you have the Seven of Wands. From the outside, you are seen as standing your ground, being defensive, and holding your position, even under pressure. Others likely perceive you as on guard or protective of your choices or boundaries, or pushing back against opinions or expectations or demands, or others see you stronger and more certain than you feel internally. This spirit, people see you as not budging. Internally, the Hermit reversed is saying you may feel lost or disconnected or unsure. Externally, with the Seven of Wands, you look confident, firm, and unshakable. But this mismatch can be exhausting. You may feel like you had to defend a stance that you're not even sure about anymore. Or this may feel like you may feel like you can't admit uncertainty because people are watching, or you may feel like backing down would look like weakness or failure. You're known for being stubborn, and others may be reinforcing that narrative. Maybe people expect you to hold the line, or to stay consistent, or to not change your mind. So you may be defending stability for appearances, even while internally questioning everything. And the shadow side of this is, with the Seven of Wands, you're being forced into a defensive posture, or you're arguing for something just because you already chose it, or you're feeling isolated because you're always in opposition. This feeds directly into the Nine of Swords anxiety and the Tower reversed, the desire to avoid public collapse, and the feeling of disconnection with the Hermit reversed. But on the positive side, this card also means that you do have the right to protect your space. And not every outside voice deserves equal weight. Some pressure is testing your resolve, not trying to break it. So the question becomes, what are you defending? And is it still aligned with you? So right now Spirit is saying right now you may feel internally uncertain. Right now you are externally perceived as firm. Right now you want quiet change, not public upheaval. And then your hopes and fears card is the Death card, Scorpio energy. This card is about endings, transformation, and rebirth. You are currently caught between wanting stability and knowing that something must change. The Death card shows up as both. On the fear side, you may have a fear of total loss or upheaval, or you may worry that letting go will destroy what you've built, or you may have anxiety about the unknown, especially emotionally or practically, or there's a resistance to change even though deep down it's necessary. And on the hope side, you have a deep desire for transformation, or you're wanting to shed old habits, illusions, or outdated situations, or you're craving a fresh start or release from things that no longer serve you. So there's been a hesitation or a lack of spark. Again, too many choices, then feeling mentally overwhelmed. And then you have your inner resilience and emotional mastery with the Strength card. And then there was a past loss of direction with the Chariot reversed, and looming anxiety with the Nine of Swords. and a desire to avoid public chaos with the Tower reversed, and then an internal disconnect with the Hermit reversed, and then external pressure being seen as being defensive with the Seven of Wands. Now we can see the internal tension clearly. You know things have to change with the Death card, but you're terrified of what that change looks like. You're caught in a classic Taurus paradox. The need for transformation versus the love of stability. You fear instability more than most signs, so death is naturally intimidating. But you also deep down want renewal. You just need reassurance that you can handle it. This fear-hope duality explains your hesitation, overthinking, and anxiety. The message with this card is that transformation is necessary. Fear is natural, but so is the potential for a new, stronger beginning. Death here isn't literal, it's symbolic, the ending of old patterns, illusions, or situations that aren't serving you. And then your last card is the King of Swords. This card represents the outcome if all is to remain as is. This card represents clarity, intellect, truth, and decisive action. This king approaches situations with logic, fairness, and mental discipline rather than pure emotion. So this tells us that you will navigate this period using your mind and reason, not just instinct or emotion. You will likely take control through analysis, strategy, or clear communication. Even if change or upheaval is needed, you will face it rationally and deliberately rather than being swept away. Or you may adapt a detached perspective, weighing pros and cons before committing to anything new. You're navigating a period of internal doubt, external pressure, and looming change. Right now you feel anxious, hesitant, and a bit disconnected from your inner wisdom. You fear upheaval, but want transformation without chaos. By the end of this cycle, the end of February, you're likely to resolve things intellectually, make a firm, rational choice, set boundaries, and approach change with strategic clarity rather than letting fear or emotion rule. This is classic Taurus, careful, deliberate, measured, and ultimately in control. Even though the cards show internal fear and indecision, you emerge stronger and clearer, using reason to navigate uncertainty. This card ensures the outcome is calm, orderly, and decisive, even if deep internal transformation has occurred. You're in a phase of mental and emotional tension, facing multiple options and anxieties, needing change but resisting chaos. Through patience, inner strength, and ultimately applying clarity and logic, You will navigate the uncertainty and make firm, strategic decisions that align with your values and stability. Taurus, you're navigating confusion and fear of change, but you will find clarity and strength through careful, rational decisions. So that is your reading. Thank you so much for letting me channel these messages today. And again, if you received any guidance, insight, if you could please like, share, subscribe, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I'm sending you lots of love and strength. Thank you. Take care. Bye.